So today I'm going to make some homemade chili and disregard the mess, but literally it's a mess, So what it is when you have 4 kids and yourself and a boyfriend, and this week is my vacation week. So I'm trying to take somewhat of it easy while getting some other tasks done. And not to mention I have to go in and actually work tonight on my vacation week. So I'm going to show you how to make my chili, and we're going to start with that now. So the sausage and ground beef, I'm going to cook all this up, and I'm going to take half of it and save it for another meal to save some money. Since groceries are crazy and they aren't going down, they keep going up, and getting quite worried when you're a family of 6 and beginning of year is around the corner and all the bills keep going up. So let's make some chili. I have the pound of ground beef and the pound of sausage browning. Now we are going to put orange pepper. Now if I had another one, I would have added another type of pepper added to it, but I think orange is the best. Some onion, celery, and then we will be adding all of this right here. Yeah, that may be cheating to use the chili beans, but it's easier and it saves somewhat money, but I'll still add more chili powder, which you'll see then when I get to it. I guess I'll also add of why I'm doing this. People always told me I should post something online about the food I make, because I cook a lot and it helps give them ideas, and they tell me it looks good. So that's why I'm doing it. Everything is cut up, and that was almost 3/4 of the orange pepper. That other half of onion, I used those 3 stalks of celery, but I cut off a lot of the ends. Ground beef and sausage cooked. I'm going to half that, like I said, and put it in the bag. Freeze it for another meal. Nice thing, pull it out, add it to a sauce, because I plan on using with the pasta meal. And then all I have to do usually is I add onions and peppers. I just have to cook those up when I make that meal, which I might make some point later this week. Possibly the day I go back to work. Now we're going to show you everything else I add to the chili. Some Worcestershire, however you say it. Bacon bits, onion powder, garlic powder, red pepper, salt, pepper, and then I'm adding the rest of these minced garlic, Italian seasoning, chili powder, 2 beef bouillon cubes, and some sugar. Now the garlic, minced garlic. I would cut fresh garlic, but we don't eat a lot of garlic in my house. I just can't do garlic like that. So that is what I like to buy, and that is what's best. Yeah. So I'm gonna mix everything into the pot now, because I'm gonna use the crock pot. Make a crock pot meal. And this is what time it is, and I want to get it on by noon for 4 hours on high. So I'll be ready for dinner tonight. I would say normally I like to have more of that stuff in there, but unfortunately, like I said, I used what I had, and I'm trying to save some for other meals to stretch money. And then I don't know, but I always seen those garbage bowls. I use a garbage bag to throw all my, bad parts in and all that stuff. So I figured I'd add that in there. Also gonna add, I drain the grease. I don't use the extra fats. We don't need that in our diet. So that's what I'm going to do into that, and then we just throw it away once it's full. And then I'm going to add, like I said, half of it into that bag, and then the other half is gonna go into the crock pots for dinner. And I really did start dinner a little too early because we want to eat at around 5. So I'm gonna try to slow down a little bit, I guess. So that's the ground beef and sausage. Half of it added in with the peppers, onions, and celery that mixed together. I put 1 can of the dark red kidney beans already in. And I also rinsed all the top of the cans. As you can see, that one's still wet. I didn't pull that off yet. We'll see how many I need. I'm thinking about, if I make a huge batch like I normally do, about maybe freezing half of it if I can. So There we go. We're just gonna add these cans in. So that right now, that's 3 cans of beans, 2 of them being the chili beans. And then 1 of the chili ready tomatoes. Here's another one. Sorry about showing my dirty sink. Tomato paste. This is a bigger can, not one of the small ones. Okay, I need the spoon. So I mixed everything in here. I had that last can of beans. Then I fill up one of these cans with water, and then we're going to dump it in and get out, you know, all that leftover stuff in the other cans. Uh-oh. See, this is what happens when I try to do it through the camera. Because this stuff had seasonings in it. I added the 2 beef bouillons in already. And by the way, I use rice, that rice back there, to eat our chili over. So, then add that in. And I might add another half can of water. Let me Yeah, can and a half of water. Now to the seasonings. So I opened all that, and like I said, I'm just eyeball everything. So that had water in it, just to empty this out. Now I'm gonna put some peppers. Now I have a 2-year-old that will be eating this, so I don't want to add as many peppers in there. I don't know what that is, so I'm gonna get that out. Some salt. So maybe a teaspoon of salt. And pepper. Maybe a teaspoon of pepper too. That seems like a lot, but yeah, I like pepper. Some onion powder. I'll say a teaspoon. Teaspoon of garlic powder. Italian seasoning. I'm gonna say maybe a teaspoon of that, and then some bacon bits. This is like a Midwest recipe that I found, I guess. I don't really use correct measurements when I cook all the time. Baking, yes, but even then I still change it. Then chili powder. A teaspoon of that too. And then some. And then some Worcestershire. Maybe a tablespoon of that. And then sugar. Well, not right now. Give me a second. Maybe a third to a half cup of that. And then I'm going to get my spoon that I used earlier. I mixed everything up with. So we're gonna mix it all up. So check my wash. I'm gonna try to get something else accomplished today. I really want to make a homemade apple pie. We picked apples the other weekend, but I don't know. I'll get to that today too. I don't know, because I need to try it out since I go into work tonight. But I think that looks pretty good, so we're gonna put it on for high for 4 hours, and I'll stir it throughout the cooking process. I almost forgot some hot sauce, so I like to add also some hot sauce to it. Maybe half a tablespoon. Now I'm gonna close the lid.